What's up, guys? Tom the Car Guy here, and today I want to talk to you about me personally and my opinion on the future of the car business. So this video is for customers. It's for salespeople that want to kind of get an idea. I've been around this business since 2007. I've been in sales since 2012, 13. I've worked I was a porter, I was a detailer, I was in sales for a very long time. I've had manager in my title, 2 different management titles. I did finance for a smidgen of time. I've worked at tiny mom and pop stores in the middle of BFE, Michigan, and I have worked for some pretty big stores in Detroit. So this video is for the sales managers, the sales guys, even the customers who want to kind of get an understanding of, you know, the way the market is starting to go, especially with this Corona thing going on. Just this is the way the whole thing's starting to go. So if you guys know me, any of you guys know me personally, you know I don't sugarcoat things. I don't hide things from customers or sales managers or management in any way, shape, or form. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to tell you what you want to hear just because you want to hear it. I wouldn't appreciate if you did that to me. I'm not going to do it to you. So with that being said, first thing I want to say is, as of last Monday, I no longer am employed by a dealership. So I'm not going to tell you things based on trying to protect my job or hopefully not offend a customer. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. So with that being said, here we go. First thing is, dealerships have really got to start doing something. It's the 21st century. We got the internet. You're watching me on YouTube, Facebook, whatever it may be. So dealers got to change something. And the biggest thing that I can think of that dealerships absolutely have to change is the way that they teach their new sales staff. So I've been criticized by fellow salespeople. I've been criticized by managers. I had a manager that was pushing 65 years old tell me that I couldn't close a barn door if it was power. Now, over here I got my book of sales. My best month was 37 cars. That's not 50, 60, 70 cars, but it's not also your average salesperson at 6 or 7 cars sold either. That month, I'll be blatantly honest with you, I made $14,432. I'll go double check it, but $14,400 in 1 month. That's not exactly average in any means. My average sales were about 15, 16 cars a month. Not where I wanted to be, but not average guy. And that was at a Toyota store in Michigan. If you don't know the market here, we're the home of the big 3, the home of everybody having the employee discount. It's kind of tough to do. So I sold new and used cars, and at one of the Toyota dealerships I worked for, we did things a little different. We put our best price on our used cars right up front. First thing I would say to the people was, "Hi, Tom. Welcome to ABC Motors. Do you know a little bit about our business? Do you know how we do things?" Well, no, Tom. No, I don't. Okay, great. Well, here's the cool thing. Because everybody's been asking for years and years and years for dealerships to put their best price out front, best price first, we as a dealership did that. You come to our used car lot, if the car said it was $15,600, that was the price of the car. No negotiating, no back and forth, nothing. New cars were a little different. New cars we could still negotiate, but used cars we didn't. It was kind of an experiment to see how it worked before we as a dealership decided to change our business. I no longer work for that dealership anymore. That dealership did go out of business. It was purchased. It was sold out, and then they purchased another dealership up in Traverse City, another Toyota store. I'm not moving from Metro Detroit to Traverse City. I kind of wish I would have now that I look in past tense, but I just didn't. So that seems to be the way a lot of dealerships are going. I'm starting to see more and more frequently dealerships going to the one price sales model. I had customers who, even after explaining them that this is it, they would still try and say, okay, well, I get it, but what's really the best price of the car? That was it. I mean, that was the best price of the car. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to aggravate you. I'm not going to potentially irritate my customers to the point that they're not going to come back and buy that car, or they're not going to send friends or family to buy another one from me. That takes my income down. Right? I gotta feed my daughter. I gotta pay my car. I gotta pay my bills. Be honest with you. So the way dealerships are starting to work now, especially with this Corona thing, is the online sales model. You go online, punch it in. I'm looking for 2020 Toyota Camry. I want the SE in black, and they're gonna have the list of the car, all the features that are on the car. It's gonna cost you $25,000. We'll just call it $25,000. You have the option of your rebate or your 0% financing. I don't know if that's still up there. I'm not up to date with Toyotas any longer, or the rebates and incentives. But back when I sold Toyotas, it was a $1,000 or a $2,000 rebate or 0%. So I'll use that as an example. And you click which one you want. You fill out your credit app. You hit submit. The dealership's going to call you a little bit later. Hey, you're approved. You qualify for 0% at 60 months. Your payment is 123. So that is a very, very simple model. It's been around for years. I started the Toyota dealership in 2015. 2015. And we still did it back then. So what we're doing is nothing new, but I've gotten a lot of leads off the dealership's websites of people clicking buy now, but customers just don't want to do the paperwork. They don't want to fill it out online. They don't want to give out their information. So with all these dealerships going to this model and saying it's new, it's really not new. My really good friend of mine still works at a Ford dealership, a local Ford dealership here in Southeast Michigan. A couple of friends work at a couple local Chrysler dealers, and people just are not doing it. They'll ask for information on the car, but they won't fill out the rest. And I personally, I don't understand that. We go on Amazon. We give our address to Amazon. We buy things online all the time. We give our information out all the time, but we won't give it to dealerships. Especially in this market and this type of economy and the situations we're in right now, I don't understand that. Why you wouldn't give that information, especially if you're a lease customer. If you're a lease customer and you've got, just using a number, 100 miles left on your lease in 3 days, in Michigan right now, you can't go to the dealership. You cannot go test drive a car. You got, I think it's 60 or 90 days to bring it back after the purchase, but you can't go to the dealership. You can't test drive the cars. You can't run around and look at them. I mean, you can always go to the lot and look, but you can't go in. You can't get information from the salespeople. We as salespeople, we can't go outside and greet you. If you're standing there on the lot going, "There's no salespeople here. It says ask for information on the window sticker," and you can be out there waving your arms and doing whatever, but those salespeople still, they cannot walk outside and say, "Hi, my name is Joe. Welcome to ABC Motors. What can I do for you?" We can't do it. I can't even do the elbow bump or the foot shake or whatever people are doing now. I know shaking hands is frowned upon now because, Corona. But with that being said, you can't go out and do that. So you have to do it online. Now, I understand not wanting to jump up and buy a used car online because if you've never test driven it, you don't know if it's a good car. It could be a 2000, I mean, it's 2020 right now. It could be a 2019 with 10,000 miles on it, and someone might have hit the largest pothole in Michigan, which, it's Michigan, so they're not this big. They're like Volkswagen size. Hit the biggest pothole in Michigan and busted the crap out of the car. You can't test drive it, which to me makes no sense. So buying a used car at a dealership right now, to me, doesn't make sense. That's just me. If you want to do it or you can see the benefit of doing it, by all means. But now buying a new car, say you're a lease customer, say you're a Ford F-150 customer, some of the most loyal customers in the entire auto industry right now. You know what the F-150 is. You know how it drives. You know the features. You know how it works. It hasn't really changed in the last couple of years. No new amenities, no new features. It doesn't drive any different, ride any different, behave any different. Your fuel efficiency is no different. The cushion on your ass is not going to feel any different. And the touchscreen, just minor tweaks, if that. I worked for a company for a short period of time, and that's all we did was I dealt with Ford cars. I was in every single model that Ford makes and sells in the United States under either Ford or Lincoln. The F-150s don't change. So if you're a Ford F-150 lease customer or purchase customer, the way it's working right now, it can work out really well for you. You don't have to go to the dealership. You don't have to deal with the pain in the butt finance guys, the killer finance guys. You don't have to sit there and wait for everything. Oh, this paperwork's taking forever. Oh, this guy don't know. He just doesn't know anything about the car. You go in, you click on the black one, the exact same equipment I have now. I need 15,000 miles a year. I'm going to put $3,000 down. I'm turning in mine, and you're done. So they are going to take the paperwork. They're going to print it up, and a salesperson can come to your home. I have had to tell several people that are still selling cars, tell me that actually seems to be the most common thing, because some people don't care about this Corona thing. They'll let you at the kitchen table. But some people are meeting you in the garage on a picnic table or on a fold-up card table, and you sign your paperwork there, and the salesperson takes the paperwork, hands you the keys, you spray it with some Lysol, and you're done. So it's very easy if you're buying a new car, especially this time. Now, if you want to do a big change, like you have an F-150 now, but you want to downsize to the brand new 2020 Escape, I can see that being a difference. You're going to want to test drive the car. You're going to want to sit there and check out the features. You're going to want to see how you really feel in it and how it's comfortable. But unfortunately, in Michigan, you can't do that right now. Test drives are very heavily frowned upon. I don't write the rules. Governor Whitmer did. I don't know. But with that being said, you could be a current Escape lessee, but the new 2020 Escape, I've been in it. I've driven a bunch of them. I've driven every trim level and both motors, and it's extremely different from the one that was for sale at the beginning of this year or later last year. It's extremely different. The car doesn't look the same, doesn't feel the same, doesn't drive the same, doesn't ride the same, doesn't perform the same. You get inside and it's blatantly not the same car. You're going to want to test drive that car. So unfortunately in this market, it's very difficult. It's hard to do. It's a huge pain in the ass. Huge pain in the ass. Now, I can't speak for every market. I can't speak for California, Nevada, Florida, I don't know. I know some salespeople, but I don't know. I don't know how the legalities of it. You can test drive a car here. You can't test drive one there. Beats the crap out of me. Here in Michigan, though, that is how it's working. But like I said, the online thing, nobody has really wanted to do it in the past, and I don't see that happening now either with some of the people I'm talking to. People will go online. They will fill out some of the information. They'll give an email address. It takes forever for people to answer emails nowadays. It sucks. Some people are professionals that work on email all the time. Boom. You're in and out, back and forth, done. But there are some people who will grab, their phone, and they'll never look at the email. They'll get a notification pops down up top. You swipe it away. You look at it again 4 days later. Now, maybe that car you inquired on is gone. I recommend, if you are filling out the information to get information on the car or try and buy one online, please fill it out. Fill it out correctly. Fill it out right. Fill it out honestly. If you've got $2,000 to put down on the car, please do not hide that. It's difficult enough to deal with that in the dealership, but right now, especially online and go over the phone, making 15 calls or doing 4 billion text messages, give me the information up front. Give the saleswoman or the salesman or the sales manager up front your information. It will be the easiest car buying process you've ever had. I guarantee it. I absolutely guarantee it. That's why I've always told my customers throughout the last several years to go online, pick the car, fill out your application, sign up, do what you gotta do, and I'll come drop the car off to your house, or you can come pick it up and you'll be in and out hour and a half, and you're done. You're driving your new car. So I don't foresee everything changing. Now, what I did say about, sales managers and teaching and training salespeople, this is a very new thing. This is not something that a lot of dealerships do every single day. There are some that do. I'm not going to call you guys out. I'm not saying you don't do it. There are some dealers that sell cars online every single day, all day long. Absolutely. But there are also dealerships out there that don't. They refuse to. They don't teach their people how to. They don't teach the people necessarily how to even use the system, much less understand dealing with a customer that way. It's a bloody shame, because this is the 21st century. If you read the reviews, if you read the complaints that customers have, if you go to Glassdoor, I love Glassdoor. You can get salespeople, you can get employees or previous employees' opinions on that business. Dealerships are no exception. And you can see what people really think. People are tired of the brick and mortar dealership, but dealerships are not changing that to get better results and better reviews and better customer satisfaction. I've heard, even from the last dealer I left, I heard one of the sales managers go, well, if they don't want to do it, don't buy it here then. The times are changing. It is time to change. Do I say that every car should be sold online? Not in a million years. Not in a million years will I ever say that. But it's evolving. It is moving on. And dealerships are either going to catch up or fall down. There are a lot of great small mom and pop shops that are dying because they can't afford to move up. They can't afford to come up to the 21st century. A dealership that I applied for when I lived up in mid-Michigan, me and my daughter's mother were considering moving back down here to Metro Detroit, and I didn't really want to make the move. I was willing to make a pretty decent drive, so I was willing to drive from Standish to Saginaw, even further, actually. It was even further, actually. It took me about an hour drive, hour and a half, give or take some. It didn't hurt. It would have sucked with the truck that I drive for gas price, but it wouldn't have really hurt. This place had tablets for every salesperson. There was no computer. There was no big desk in these little offices. It was like the Taj Mahal of dealerships. I've never seen this before. It's really cool, actually. You'd have a big round table in the middle of these little offices, 2, 3, 4 chairs, and then a big TV up on the wall. So as I'm on the tablet, if I'm tapping, and I'm trying to see, okay, well, you want to see the difference between 72 and 60 months financing? Well, click, and it shows up on the screen. The system will actually tell you exactly where each vehicle is parked on the lot. Exactly to the point, exactly the parking spot those vehicles are parked. It was awesome. That is the 21st century, and that is a multi-million-dollar dealership. Brand new facility. I think it was only a few months old or a year old when I went in there to interview. I kind of, at this point, I do wish I would have accepted that job, because if I would have worded myself a little differently, and I think I could have gotten that job, I was kind of gung-ho about moving back to Metro Detroit. My family's from here. But now that I look back, I wish I did take that job. But those guys, their salespeople are not paid all that well. And that was a big reason I didn't want to push for that job. I was more than willing to take the interview. But the salespeople weren't paid all that well. But the big thing is, the customer just got that kind of, here's your price. Are you a Ford employee? Are you a GM employee? Great. Here's your price. Are you not? Okay, great. Here's your price. Can I save you another $100 during your business? Because that's all we had. That's all that dealership had left in the way they priced their cars. That's the 21st century. Let's do it, guys. I mean, we can absolutely do it. But instead, you have dealerships that are cutting each other's throats. And, that's great, or it seems great to the customer, because you go to A, B, or C. A has the car for $25,900, B has it for $25,800, and C undercuts everybody at $25,500. everybody's going to kind of go to C, even though C might have the worst reviews, the worst survey scores. Customers are going to kind of go there, and then they're going to flood the world with, oh, dealerships suck. Oh, salespeople suck. Oh, they ripped me off. Oh, they treated me like shit. We have the technology. It's time for dealers to kind of get together and say, all right, we're all going to price the cars the same. Let's do the right, the fair, the honest thing. Put our prices out there. We'll just call it within $500 of each other. Let's use an average car. Let's call it $500 of each other. I've actually read this on NADA, Auto Week, which is a news source for dealerships and the auto industry as a whole. A lot of dealers want to do this, and then they kind of agree with these other dealer groups that, all right, we're going to stop going at each other's throats. We're just going to run a business, an honest business. Be upfront, show the customer the price, show them the car. Do you want to finance it? Do you want to finance for this long? You putting this much down? Boom. Well, I don't like the way I'm treated, so I'm going to go over here because they have the same price, but I hear that they treat their people better. And it just makes it a much more honest, much more competitive way without ripping ourselves off as salespeople or dealerships. And the customer gets a fair price and a fair treatment in the long run. It's just the way to do it. But some dealers agree to this. In practice, they do. And then that dealer they agreed with just tanks the price of the car, and then it makes the other guys want to do the same, and then you just go back in the same vicious cycle of treating each other like crap, treating the customers like crap, because now you're irritated, and it's just a big giant cluster of stupidity around the whole thing. So that's my opinion, not yours. Maybe you can agree with me. Thanks for watching. I do hope you watched the whole video. I hope this maybe gave you some ideas or some insight on the way that the things are starting to change. Customers, I do recommend you listen to the first 15 minutes, give or take some, if you don't want to listen to the rest about kind of the dealership thing. But at least you'll kind of get an understanding of the way business is being handled right now and the way it's always been handled. Like I said, please, if you're requesting information on a car, especially right now, give all the information so that the salesperson can reach out to you, get you the information on the car, because if you don't get it, you're going to complain. It makes us look bad even though we didn't do anything, and it's just a giant cluster. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you do agree with me, please leave it in the comments. If you don't agree with me, please leave it in the comments. I will respond. I like it responding. I will not, like I said, I won't sugarcoat. I won't brown nose. I will respond, in my opinion, the best that I can. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and good luck in your car buying. Tom is out.